not singing in harmony. We're just saying, welcome.
We're not going to sing in harmony?
I think that we've been doing that. Hello.
I didn't know we were harmonizing. We could have gotten way harder than that.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Andy and
Madi podcast.
Hello.
Yes, we are back.
We are
Better
in the month
than ever,
of March.
Of course. We are indeed.
It is a turbulent time in the world.
Isn't it always?
I know, right? Exactly.
Yeah, but you know what? I think obviously that's life on Earth, if you will.
Yeah,
you know?
Life on Earth is not a walk in the park a lot of the time.
It's always just very intense. Even nature, you know?
Yeah.
It's always changing. It's always evolving. There's always an element of struggle, but I feel like that's kind of life on Earth.
How fungus is starting to adapt to warmer temperatures.
That's pretty interesting. I mean, I'm definitely rooting for them, I feel like.
Oh my god.
You know? Actually, I had a thought earlier. It's because right now we're drinking kombucha. Okay, well, I guess it's more of an elixir because I don't think this is technically kombucha.
I mean, it has.
But it has probiotics.
Oh no,
and
it's not kombucha.
It's by GTS, which is the same brand that we always plug on this podcast. The kombucha that we drink, but this one is a cola version, and so it's kind of like a substitution for Coke. And it is so good. It tastes so yummy. It tastes so much like soda. I don't know. I feel like it tastes so much like Coke. But it has mushrooms in it. And I was thinking, if we were like superheroes, we could be mushrooms. And I don't know why I thought that, but you just reminded me in that fungi comment.
I would want to be reishi.
Reishi?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just one of the cooler names. Turkey tail?
It is.
Want to be turkey tail?
I'd probably be lion's mane.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're like, let's just discuss mushrooms. I feel like we're going to be kind of just going with the flow in this episode and talking about a lot of different things.
But you had one main topic that you did want to bring up.
I thought something we could kind of discuss. I thought it was interesting. Okay. And I think it's something that, I mean, if you're watching this right now, I'm almost positive that it impacts your life in some way. And that is social media.
Social meds.
The social meds, yeah. I don't know. I just thought it would be interesting for us to kind of discuss some of the things that have come about as a result of social media, kind of our perspective on social media, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Sure.
Let's start with objectively in your life. Do you like social media? You do, right?
I think.
Or do you kind of wish it wasn't there?
No, I do enjoy social media, but I think that we're from the generation where we've had it for a long time, you know? I think it's kind of hard to imagine my life without the internet or a cell phone, or we grew up with it. We never really didn't have it, you know?
I mean, I feel like, okay, I remember Instagram first coming out when we were maybe juniors in high school.
No, we were freshmen.
No, because when we were in middle school, MySpace was still the thing, and then it was Facebook, and then Instagram.
No, freshman or sophomore year, Instagram came out, because I actually have on my Instagram, you can go back to when I first used their filters and posted
Me too,
something.
on my old Instagram.
And it was about that old.
It was 20...
When did Instagram
14.
start? Okay.
I'm telling you, it was when we were older, I feel like. I don't know. I do remember being younger. I mean, that I do think is kind of crazy. I don't know, because... Yeah, we did have Facebook when we were in middle school, so I guess we already started to feel kind of the pressure from social media, because there was a pressure from MySpace.
It was.
You know, you know, but I mean...
It was 2010.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, we were
That was when we were barely starting high school.
Yeah, I know. It was freshman to sophomore year.
But I feel like it wasn't that popular at first, right?
No, but
I almost feel like I have to go and find my...
I remember downloading it because I was so into photography, and I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever.
You know what? I actually specifically remember what my first Instagram post ever was. And it was when we went on a trip to California.
Wow.
I found it.
Yeah, the Polaroid. The
2012.
Polaroid
2012. May 17th, 2012 was my first Instagram post. My first ever Instagram post. So low-key at first, and it was literally not what it is now.
That's pretty crazy to think about.
That's what's trippy, is it's we really didn't grow up with what it is now.
No.
Even TikTok, sometimes I'm like, damn, if we had TikTok when we were in high school, That would have been pretty crazy.
I don't think that I would have my career if I had a TikTok when I was in high school. Just kidding.
I think it would have been good. I think you would have had a different career.
I would have had a completely different life.
You mean you would have had a TikTok career?
I'm just kidding. I'm not being. I honestly really don't know though, because I think that I made really funny, weird YouTube videos that I've taken down since. And I can only imagine if I would have maybe left some of them there. But I think, I don't know, I think TikTok plus me at like 12, 13, 14, I probably would have gone viral, but for something...
Because you were crazy for a while there. Yeah. I feel like you were off one.
It's because I had a life. I had a crazy life, everybody.
It's because I had a life.
I had a crazy life, everybody.
You did have a crazy life, though. That's a fact.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I was just reacting. Like, I was over the top about everything. I was strange.
I do think it is kind of problematic in a way that, like, such young children are being exposed to social media.
I think that it's like, yes, like... I don't know. I think that it's very cool and it has its amazing parts.
Yeah, you're right.
But when I think about me having access to something like that, back when I was going through all of my... I had mental health struggles and I had like, I had issues, and like, you're just like making that available to the entire internet.
Yeah, I get you. I mean,
and
that's true. Not everyone, but definitely that is true. I mean, I don't know. I also feel like it's just, like, it's definitely corrupting people's brains in so many different ways. Obviously, through, like, just the things that people say on social media, the ideas that are spread, of course. But then also, the fact that the algorithms are literally made to keep you there on the app for so long.
No, yeah, and then...
And how it's, like, so deep and psychologically, like, manipulating you, low-key,
Excuse me,
to, like, continue to stare at your phone.
I'm drinking my elixir. Excuse me.
Those were the mushrooms.
Yes. No, but I think that for me to think about it, really, I just think the main thing that is not good at all anymore, that is clear every day, is the attention span thing.
Yeah.
And what really got me thinking about it the other day is watching some old films, films from the 60s or 70s or 80s, and the shots, like how long was a shot, how long was a scene, how long was a monologue, like...
You're right, they really took their time on those.
People took their time. Yeah, they let things...
slow.
Yes, and they let things build. The energy builds and builds and builds and builds.
I feel like now.
And now,
everything is so fast and
it's in
a million things
seconds,
going on each minute.
In 15 seconds, you learn 5 different news headlines, and you're just like, boom, like that's it. Like they just end it with like follow and like. And that's what that's where people are in. Like,
yeah, it's true.
And honestly, I mean, even for me, it's like I had to get into it. I had to like be like, wow, okay, I'm gonna watch a whole orchestra scene for 10 minutes because this is what people had attention spans to do.
Wow. I could not imagine myself doing that. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like my attention span has also been brutally attacked. I don't know, maybe that's just part of my personality, not gonna lie. But I'm like, maybe it's not all social media, but I definitely feel like social media helps, But I don't know.
In this case, not helps.
It's kind of like we are going to the age of Aquarius. It's technology.
Oh my God.
Andrew's like, you're gonna bring up something about astrology, aren't you?
What did I tell you that you were gonna bring up?
I don't know. It was something dumb. Gosh. It didn't even make sense.
It did make sense.
It did not make sense. It was like, oh, you're so funny, and then I'm like, haha, it didn't even make sense. Okay, so you just don't get it. Okay?
Oh no, I said earlier that Monty was gonna bring up the internet and social media's
birth chart. So that is kind of what I did.
So Instagram was created on October 6, 2010.
Oh, it's a Scorpio.
Oh.
That actually makes sense.
That explained a lot about Insta.
Does it not? Just kidding. I mean, kind of, yeah. Oh, that's a different conversation.
Insta has some Scorpio energy.
I could see it 100%, dude.
I could see it too.
I could 100% see it. And also, Scorpio is kind of a dark energy, so it makes sense why it's kind of like also low-key dark, But,
Oh, okay.
Hot take.
I know.
But no,
what,
it's
did
like,
you hear that, everybody?
one of the major themes of Aquarius is like innovation, and technology is like a very big theme associated with Aquarius energy. So it's like, we're going to the age of Aquarius. We're gonna see more and more things, even like with the AI. With all of the insane new AI developments, I feel like that just came out of nowhere, low-key. It's like, one second they had supercomputers, and like then they had the algorithm in Google and stuff, and then the next minute they're like, this is the all-knowing entity for Earth. Knows more than any human being exists.
But you don't know. You don't think that it just Googles it? You don't think that they just Google answers and then just compile lists and things like that?
I think that what it is that it's not just Googling 100%. It has access to like everything.
Girl. The library. Alexandria.
It's in the Vatican archives. You know what I mean? Like,
the Library of Alexandria records are in ChatGPT.
I don't know. That's kind of how I feel like it low-key is. I just feel like it's like, it's like, I don't know. Maybe my perception is a little bit wrong. But I could totally see it, like, just hacking into all these systems, you know what I mean? Like, getting, like, the tea. That'd be kind of dope. That's what I'm waiting for.
I don't think they're going to release that to everybody. I think if they have that already, it's just for, like, military. Yeah, you're right. They definitely do. I mean, that's the thing, though. It's like, you know, if this is being released to the public, what's not being released? Am I right? What do they got behind the scenes?
What's not being released? I mean, everything. All of it. What's that movie? Everything All at Once or whatever.
Everything.
It won like 20 Oscars.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
Have you seen
movie.
it?
No.
I keep having people tell me that I would like it because I think it's very like existential, because it's like about this lady who like ends up going through a bunch of dimensions.
Okay,
and
okay, you already told me too much.
Different versions of herself.
Okay. Thanks for that spoiler.
It's not a spoiler, bro. It's called the synopsis. Have you ever seen a trailer for a movie? It's gonna do the same thing, bro.
I literally didn't know anything about it. And I kept seeing people talking about it.
I heard it was good, and a bunch of the actors won, and the movie won also.
Yeah, they swept. Yeah, they swept.
They swept like an old chimney boy.
Yeah, they swept the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah, they broke a lot of records.
Yeah, I just don't watch any movies, you know? I don't know. It's because my brain is rotted from social media.
I mean, I watch some movies. I think I watch maybe 1 to 3 movies a week, usually.
Okay, wow, that's a lot, actually.
I mean, not really. A lot of people, they'll get off work and they'll watch
I would say I watch on an average of 1 movie every 2 months. Someone help this girl. And someone help her brain. Half of the time, it's a documentary. Like, the last movie I watched was...
I like watching documentaries.
I don't know. I like long-form content like that. Remember I told you I watched the MH370 documentary? If you guys have seen that on Netflix.
Okay, but
Wild.
But Monica
and that was
also,
like 4 hours.
She'll watch, like, 2-hour podcasts or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not like you don't watch...
I prefer
long-form stuff.
Nonfiction. You know what I'm saying?
Real?
Because I'm like, if I'm going to spend over an hour on one piece of media, it's got to give me something.
But the thing is that no matter how simple a film is, it always gives you something. There's always something to take from them. It's because I'm a Virgo
Mars, dude. I'm sorry.
I don't know what that means, buddy. A lot of people... Can you say it with me, everyone? I don't know what that means, buddy.
Some people are probably thinking, I know exactly what that means.
Okay.
You don't know what that means. Just kidding. It just makes me want to have purpose with everything that I do. It's like that Virgo energy just wants to like control and stuff.
But you want to know what?
So I feel like that it just makes it like hard for me to sit there and just like watch something just to, especially if I'm not with like a group of people. Maybe if I'm with a group of people, then it's like, okay, well, this is like a double, you know, I'm like hanging out and watching a movie, you know? But to sit there by myself and watch a movie, almost 0 out of 0 times. Like, it's not going to happen.
No, it's because for me, I think to myself, like, for instance, I've watched a lot of Audrey Hepburn and, like, Marilyn Monroe films lately. One, they teach me about, like, history, you know? It's like, they're being placed in these historical contexts, you know? Like, these,
but I mean,
these things you're seeing, it's like you're being transported. like back in time.
I'm talking over you, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, stop there.
No, I also, earlier, I was like, for me, and you were like in the middle of your sentence.
I'm sure you guys notice we do that shit all the time. We need to rein it in. Have some respect, you know?
No, I hope it's recording.
What do you mean you hope it's recording?
It is.
Of course it's recording. Okay, anyway. That's recording. We're out here. But
Maddie, what was that?
What else were we
We're
talking
out
about?
here.
Yeah, so social media.
Okay, yeah, back to that topic.
Movies and stuff. I don't know. I also
that she never watches
I do
movies.
like movies, but I also feel like it has to be a movie with some pizzazz. Like I want to be wowed. I want to be transported. You know what I mean?
You want Interstellar.
If it is boring, yeah. Exactly. I love Interstellar. You know? That's a good example of a movie that I was like, wow, I can get into this. This is like
So Maddie likes anything with different dimensions.
I am. Honestly,
you know?
I've realized I really am kind of into like the fantasy archetype of like different worlds or like bending reality, like a departure from the normal. Mm-hmm. And also, yeah, like even just things that are like tell a very interesting story. I just feel like if it's like a boring sitcom comedy vibe,
oh no,
I'm like, unless the like lead actor is like super hot or you know there's something else to hold on to, there's something else to keep me there, you know, I feel like I can't do it, you know. No,
I understand. I can't really get into them so much, even if they're hilarious, even if they have the best actors, even if it's like a good storyline. I have not finished, like, I never finished The Office. Mm-hmm. I've never, Friends. I can't watch all of that.
I feel like TV shows I can get into a little bit more, because the thing about TV shows is usually it is a more interesting topic, or plot, because they have more time to develop the plot than a movie. So it's like they can put in more, you know, interesting things. But honestly, I also don't watch a lot of TV shows, but when I do, again, it's that same kind of like, you know, topics and stuff. Like I really like cool, mysterious, magical vibes.
No, every time I walk into Marissa's house, it's like aliens, Sasquatch.
That's not true.
Dimensions.
Well, see, yeah, I do like it's like the
stories.
Netflix unsolved mysteries or like things like that. I for sure can like actually get into it. You know?
She really likes some dark content. But like, a lot of people do.
Sick.
Look,
I will say
that's a lot of people.
I feel like I don't fuck with murder. Hot topic. Controversial opinion.
I don't like true crime.
I kind of don't like that energy.
No, I do not like watching that type of stuff.
I think that is too dark for me, but I like the weird, obscure stuff that actually scares people. Like
I finished watching.
I'm like, give me something more interesting than just like a human psychopath. And also, I don't know, that energy is just kind of like.
Yeah, no, I finished watching something like that, and then every single thing creeps me out. I
get interested sometimes. Like, there's certain topics that...
Dude, I feel like you can trust
crimes,
no one.
You know, whatever.
You can trust absolutely no
that's
one.
The thing too.
That's what those shows teach you. Like, you can literally trust...
Be super paranoid and
no
shit.
one.
But then, I don't know. It's just, so I don't usually go to true crime. There is a couple of, like, YouTubers and stuff that talk about certain cases that I, like, actually do watch from time to time and that are actually interesting. Really interesting ones that are very obscure,
Maddie likes things where it's like
gruesome, like, you know, crazy stories. I don't know if it's too dark. I don't want that. But at the same time, I feel like somebody could watch some of my videos and probably think the same thing. But I will say about that also that there's a line even I won't cross, especially when it comes to my content. I'm like, I don't know. You know?
Anything that's gonna make you get haunted or something.
Exactly. I don't want that. I believe I have psychic protection. I believe that, like, my energy is strong and that I do have protection around me, and that's why I can dive into these topics and stuff. But at the same time, like, I have respect for the energies of the world, and I'm not trying to... I'm only accepting good energy.
Are you on the record or off the record right now?
What do you mean? I'm on the record, clearly.
It's because the way you're saying it, it's like some testimony.
Testimony?
Okay, so, like, I'm not trying to mess with you.
Judge.
Look, I'm not trying to mess with you. So anyway, no, I understand. And I think that your videos, like Marissa, for example, some of her videos, one of them is about the missing 411, which is like
I haven't even made that one yet.
You haven't ever made that video? Oh, okay, well, she talks about making this video, like, for years.
I talk about the topic of missing 411.
You've talked about it in your videos.
I think it's come up in other topics, but I haven't specifically tackled missing 411 because if you know about missing 411, you would understand this.
No.
I'm not going to get... No, a lot of people do. That's the thing. Just because you don't doesn't mean that there's definitely people... I know a good amount of people that have heard of it. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
I do know about it because you've taught me
I'm not going to go super in depth. All I was going to say is that it's a very complicated topic. And there's so many stories and so many different accounts, and it's a huge web to piece together, and so it's a big undertaking of a video to talk about. That's the thing about it.
Basically, can I just give them a TLDR?
Okay, sure.
People go.
I don't know if you wanted to talk about it or not. Clearly you do. So let's. You know what? Let's give me the topic for this.
People go missing in national forests and national parks throughout the country. And there's certain national parks where people go missing a lot more than others. And then the stories of their disappearances are very strange. That's all you need to know, okay? And
I feel like
Marissa
I could give you a couple extra details.
No.
Very briefly. Very briefly. It's just, okay, this is, just so you can actually, like, reference it, look it up for yourself. It's based on a book series written by this man named David Paulides. He's a retired, like, detective, and basically he started getting people contacting him about this thing that was happening at various parks. First, it was just one park that contacted him. The national parks in the United States specifically is where he kind of started. And they were contacting him about these disappearances that had happened that they didn't feel were being properly investigated. And he basically started to realize that there was, like, this active cover-up by the Forest Service to try to, like, suppress the information about how many disappearances have happened in, especially, like Andrew said, certain national parks where it's, like, huge clusters. And essentially he started building a map all across the United States of cases that had different similarities in, like, strange circumstance surrounding the disappearances, but also all of these accounts, all of these cases are cases where there is absolutely no evidence of foul play, of mental health being a factor where this person, like, you know, purposely wanted to disappear, of people who like got attacked by animals. I mean, they're basically every, like, you know, typical thing that you would look for as far as something that would explain a disappearance. These cases are absent of any evidence. That's kind of the weirdest thing about a lot of them, is that some people, you know, disappear in a matter of, like, seconds. Mm-hmm. They turn a corner and then they're never seen again, and there's no evidence of them ever found. It's like they weren't even there.
Yeah.
So
this is your
video.
video.
The whole point is that it's a wormhole, and there's so much extra details, and that's why I've never, like, made a video about that. But I understand that also is, like, but its own kind of content, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is that that's not just, like, straight up, like, stories of, like, you know, serial killers and things like this.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, for me, what we're getting at from our conversation before this is that I don't like filling my brain up with a bunch of true crime and, like, all these horrific things that people have done. Mm-hmm. I just don't think that that's good. I really don't think that that's good. And I took in enough of it already. Like, just from our childhood, our teenage years, how much of this stuff have I put in my brain?
I remember I used to, like, in middle school, I feel like I've maybe told you this, but, I would, like, my friends always liked to watch the Saw movies.
Oh, my God.
And I remember I, like, really didn't. Honestly, I was not into it, but for whatever reason, this became, like, a thing that we would do, where we would get together and we'd have, like, a sleepover, and we'd watch, like, another Saw movie. And I just remember being every time, like, I am scarred for life. Like,
yeah.
Who wrote this? They need to be immediately imprisoned. And this is sick. So I feel like I was also for sure corrupted, you know, and like kind of just desensitized, I guess, to a certain extent. Also,
no, yeah, I remember watching my first Saw movie. The Exorcist. I remember seeing all of these different movies when I was very young. But on top of it, all of this true crime stuff. Like, I feel like that was, like, before the internet, when you were just searching through your TV, I would watch
you're right. Like,
true
or
crime,
like,
or Discovery Channel, or
CSI and Law and Order.
Yes. But not only just those shows, but also the ones where it was like the real cases, like the ones where it was,
like
the specials on the detectives and like how they find the person and all all of these different things.
There are still so many shows though. It's crazy.
No, yeah.
But people
entertaining
love,
the
like,
masses.
People love true crime. I mean, like I said, I can get into like certain cases, but it's just like, bruh, no, like I would definitely rather sit there and watch like an hour of the missing 411 over like, true crime. Like I would prefer other topics. I don't know, I guess it's just preference, but
no, that's what I'm trying to say. I think that what it is that just after so many years of watching it, I just don't find any entertainment value anymore. I have just lost, like, I'm like, why do I want to sit here and learn about someone's murder or this whole family's murder? Why do I want to learn about this?
I feel like we need to start saying unaliving.
Unaliving?
Yeah.
Why?
Because on YouTube you can't say certain words. Let's talk about censorship. I heard censorship.
The censorship.
The censorship.
Okay, back to social media, which is where this all started.
The censoring, yeah. You can't say certain words on YouTube. The algorithm will detect you saying certain words. And so you have to, a lot of people on YouTube will say unaliving instead of something like red rum, if you will.
Red rum.
Red rum. Come on. You ever seen like The Shining?
No.
But there's also other references to it. It's because red rum is
why
backwards.
Oh.
You see it? You see it?
And you don't think they catch on to that?
Well, no. It's just automatic.
Oh, okay.
It's the algorithm.
Okay, well, then why do I want to see someone be unalived and then find out why and who did it and all this stuff? Why do I want to see this whole family and their whole disappearance and these crazy stories? I don't know. I think there's value in it, I guess, for some people to want to watch it sometimes, sure. But I think that I've watched too much. I think it's already at the point where it just, my brain is like,
for me too, I just feel like I just have this constant like urge to learn things and to learn new things.
No, I feel you.
And that it's like when I watch these kinds of mystery videos that are kind of more like about obscure topics that are not as much discussed, I feel like it's just, I see it as more kind of like, exciting and like worthy of my time, because I'm like, wow, I'm learning about like the complexity of the world and like all of these like ancient beliefs and like, myths and legends, and that is like, wow, like that's really interesting to me, because I'm like, yeah, I mean, there's crime, like that's the world, it's sick, like I don't know,
the human race
really
is sick.
It's really upsetting. It lowers my vibration, and that's not good. Nobody wants that. The world doesn't want that. I don't want that. So
no.
I would like to keep my vibration high, which is why I avoid the news and stuff like that too.
Even the news, I have limited. Like, I remember when I was in high school, I would just like go through the BBC and just literally read like every article for that day. And then now I am very picky with, like, I pick the top 5 things, I inform myself, I know what's going on in the world. I know what's happening in my community. Like, I'll check certain things, and then that's it. And then engaging in the comments or something like that, it's like, rarely will I ever do that. You know?
No, I actually deleted Facebook from my my phone a while back. Like, it's been years now. I haven't had Facebook on my phone as an app in years. Because I just was using it too much for, like, it was just showing me so many articles and, like, so much news that I felt like it was, like, kind of, like, every time I would get on Facebook, I would get upset. Like, that was what the algorithm was giving me. It's just, like, all these environmental disasters and, like, horrible decisions being made by the leaders in the different countries, and it's just like I don't know. I realized that
sinking,
I don't want to spend my whole day angry. I do want things to change, but I would rather focus my energy on envisioning and being a part of the change rather than just, like, looking towards the, like, you know, doom of every day. Because
I think I've gotten to the point where I actually started Googling good news.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm like, is there some hope out here? Is there some nice stuff going on?
But
and there is. Like, yeah, there is.
With social media, again, and, like, them like, you know, psychologically, like, trying to manipulate us to, like, watch their media, they know that the fear-mongering keeps people watching, you know? And it helps people be controlled, and it's like they have normalized the emphasis on the negative stories. It's just, you know,
but it's always been like that.
There's so many good stories, obviously.
Yeah, it's always been like that, though.
It's,
like,
and there's always going to be more good stories than bad stories, but it's like they have to pick the most sensational story.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters, you know? And then even the news that isn't, like, inherently bad, it's just, like, you know, it's, like, social, like, celebrity news and things that it's, like, wow, cool, like, you're exploiting a person's actual life for your, like, you know, entertainment or whatever. It's just, you know, it's a little... So, and that I actually do appreciate social media. I think that at least social media, there's a lot more different types of content, and of course the news is a lot more objective, and you can find good news, and you can find, like, more than just that traditional media presents, you know? And I think that's for sure the best thing about social media is that, you know, it allows for that exchange of ideas and real conversations between people, you know? But it's obviously a double-edged sword, you know, because...
Yeah, well,
that information's not always accurate, and also sometimes it's just as, you know, toxic.
Going back to our first conversation about when Instagram came out and how we first started using it, it's so crazy to think about now how you get on Instagram and most of the things you see are mostly, you know, like, I mean, I guess this obviously has to do with the fact that I follow people that I don't know. But at the same time, it's like Instagram used to be so much more personal, you know, like it was like you saw what the people that you were following were posting, and that was it. And then now it's like you're going through your feed, and these reels that they're suggesting to you, these ads, these whatever they're suggesting to you, it's all based off of this, like, AI, basically, that is telling them what they think you're going to keep clicking. So you don't get to naturally really find your way through the internet that's same
really
way anymore.
True. That's so true. I mean,
and guide yourself, really.
It's just
because
that's the thing too.
It's guided for you.
Yeah.
You don't just go down your own rabbit holes anymore. It's like a rabbit hole that's been created for you.
Like, you know, it's like that power is kind of intense, you know? I mean, that could easily be manipulated.
Well, it is.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Obviously.
And then, you know, the fact that same AI, too, that knows how to, like, psychologically manipulate you on a level that you can't even, like, understand. All of that is being put in a box and packaged with a bow and sent off to a million different companies for advertising and God knows what else. And it's like, they just right now, like, the data bank is just insane.
Try to remember one of the hundreds of posts you saw today. Try.
One of the hundreds of posts I saw today?
Yeah, one. That's the thing. It's like I scroll through and I like things and I like people's wedding pictures, or I like pictures of them like, you know, like hiking, or but I right now, like after about like an hour or two of not looking at my phone, can I even remember one of the posts that I liked earlier? Can you? I think maybe if I try hard.
I think that I would normally say I would, but now that you're just putting me on this spot, I'm going blank. But also, I think that the other thing I'm realizing as I think about it is I feel like I can't even remember what post I liked today, what post I liked yesterday, what post I liked on Friday. You know, I mean, posts maybe stick out to me, but I'm like, was that even today?
Okay, I remember one that I liked, and it was like this art piece of like this guy standing with clipped art magazine type thing over him, photoshopped.
I liked a story of some cats.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. And then I also liked this girl's story of her falling in the Alps and she broke her chin.
Oh yeah.
And then she got surgery, but it was just like the front part of her jaw.
You
so
really
she was
do
okay.
have to be careful. I mean, it depends on the hikes that you go on, because some of them, like those ridges, they didn't come to play.
She said that she flew off of the sled that she was like sledding down, and she like rolled and went like, she said like 360 degrees, and then she hit a rock.
Oh,
like
gosh.
her sled hit a rock, threw her, and then she hit
Dude,
hit a rock.
That is insane.
So yeah, that actually, you know what? Okay, I remember too.
There you
Do you
go.
remember another one?
I mean, I don't think we have to continue listing.
No, because I think that this is crazy, guys. Don't you think this is crazy? That this is what is in our brains, and we're just like, oh, hey, to the people that were around, like, you know, I don't think that we're telling everybody every single thing that we are consuming, or we can't even keep up with everything that we're consuming.
Yeah, I just feel like, I mean, it goes back to the attention span. Like, you just, like, go from one thing to another. You really only take in
subjects.
I mean, I think that that's actually like a fact, though. I don't know the exact percentages, but you really do only remember a certain percentage of your entire day. I mean, you know, you don't take in everything. Like, your brain only has so much storage, so it's like, I feel like I've heard what it is that makes the difference between what your brain categorizes it as like short-term memory, long-term memory, or just like maybe something
that's useful, because that video, I was like, okay, I really need to be careful when I go to the Alps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that it was actually something that it was like, it has to invoke some kind of like other response from you. You know what I mean? Yeah, or something, or like a physical response of some sort, or, you know, it has to like actually have some, or be something different from the normal, like something totally different, you know? But yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting.
And it starts with her walking in, like, to her hospital bedroom, like, with her little mock dress, and she's, like, all holding an ice pack, and, like, her IV and everything. It's, like, all super dramatic. And then she starts going into the story.
Not good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess you're right. It has to hit you somewhere. It has to strike your...
Yeah, exactly.
Your attention somehow.
I remember another post I saw on TikTok.
Go.
Of this guy who he buys like out businesses kind of, but mostly it's like taco stands. Like he'll do like taco, like, you know, families that sell tacos. And he'll be like, can I buy all the tacos for the rest of the night? And then they just give away free tacos for like the entire night.
Oh.
And then he gives them like a bunch of money at the end.
That's so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I really like that kind of content.
Me too.
I was telling you, I was
cry.
like, I kind of want to start doing that. Like, I really do.
I always think of that one old lady, that she was, like, they gave her a house. She was like a...
Dude, there's been so many old ladies given houses at this point. I mean, there's so many, like, people that have started doing it. And I feel like it's kind of perfect, because it's like all these big companies give you money for it, and they're just doing it for publicity, but who cares? Like... that money should be going back to the public. Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, you know...
I think that's the problem.
This is sponsored by Coca-Cola, like...
With...
Fuck it.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, they're like, drink it. I'm like pouring it out of the side of my mouth. I'm like, oh my God. So good.
I'm going to laugh if you're sponsored in part by
Coca-Cola. I feel like I would never, unless it was something like that, where it was like, okay, this is like for the greater good. But otherwise... Sorry, Sorry, Coca-Cola.
Kombucha.
Hot take. I'm just not that kind of gal. Okay?
GT Kombucha.
I'm
That's
not an
who we
artificially
wanna be
flavored chemical gal.
Cola.
Sorry. My bad.
Cola flavored. GT Kombucha.
Yeah, exactly. GT Dave.
GT Dave.
The DMs are open.
Hello. You look fabulous. All right, we should end this.
Yeah, okay.
Let's wrap this up.
You're like, my attention span.
No.
It's running up on this podcast.
You know what? Yeah, I'm reaching my limit here.
You're right. You're like, that's true. It's accurate.
I feel like we talked about a good.
We had some
a lot of stuff.
We talked about a
lot of stuff.
We got a lot of stuff today.
I'm gonna say that every episode. We got a lot of stuff.
We're like, how do you guys like the podcast? It's a good a lot.
I can already see it on a shirt.
Good a lot.
Good a lot.
No. Anyway.
Pedialyte.
What?
I don't know.
Pedialyte.
Just stop.
They're not sponsoring us either. We're not saying any more brand names until someone pays us, okay?
Let's just not.
Gosh, darn it.
Include this part.
You don't get to pick and choose, okay? You don't get to pick and choose. Anyway. Yeah, I hope you guys had fun with us. We had fun.
I had fun.
We had fun. What is life but not a fun time?
We got to age ourselves to the Gen Z who listened to this and were like, oh my god, they were like,
you didn't have to bring that up again.
When Instagram was released.
Yeah, sorry.
When you
I
were
was
born.
connected with nature and shit, okay?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I didn't have an iPad.
When you were born.
I went outside and looked at the particles of the earth.
Instagram came out in 2010.
Oh
yes.
god, no. Look, we're gonna stop it. We're gonna stop it there. We're done with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you guys liked this.
The filters were cool, though.
I would encourage you to reflect on your own social media habits,
And try to remember a video. Try to remember something from the internet.
Like, I don't know. That's not important.
I think you're so mean. I think that it shows. Someone could tell me that they agree with me. That it shows you how much attention you are really giving to what you're watching and what you're spending hours of your life doing. And you think, say is that I learned so much, important. But what did you really learn?
Okay, this is the thing too, though. It is going to your subconscious mind. It's all going to your subconscious mind, even though you don't remember it necessarily. So this is the key. Make sure that whatever you're taking in is not going to bring you down. So, next time you reflect on your content choices, whether it be social media or the TV or the great abyss, of content.
No,
I think that it's like, be aware that everything is like, getting taken in by your subconscious and that is also affecting like, who you are and your vibration and like the energy that you feel on the day-to-day. Like, try to keep your content consuming to something that's at least going to be positive for you in some way.
The world is a crazy place and you have to take in certain bits of information. You can't live in a bubble, but process it at your own time. Process like however much information you can take in. Mm-hmm. Really check in with yourself. Like, how Marissa was saying, we look at the particles of the earth. I leave my phone at home so that I can go on walks and I'll go outside for 30 minutes to an hour. And in that time, the amount of thoughts that I have that are really, really positive and like just appreciating nature and looking at trees and things like this, like, in this day and age,
it's a lovely time.
In this day and age of social media, take your time to do that because, and don't take in too much information. I think it's important. It's like, it's going to your subconscious, but like, what good is that? You know what I mean?
And the blue light. The blue light's not good.
And the blue light.
And the blue light. Come on, somebody do something about the blue light. Get some red lights.
I have glasses that block blue light.
I do too, but I lost them. I'm very upset.
That does not work.
I also lost my AirPods recently.
Oh.
I have a case. Neither AirPod is in there.
And no one cares. Anyway.
Do I know where it is? No.
And no one listening to this podcast cares about this. Someone's going to comment, I care about your headphone, Marissa.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that ahead of time.
They're going to get you new ones.
Aw, if you guys want to get me new ones, my Cash App. I'll drop it below.
It'll be in the YouTube description.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty.
Anyway, this has been quite poppin'.
Oh.
exciting.
Mari just loves to just, I don't know, I can't say, unaliving these phrases. Okay, bye.
Unaliving.
Thank you for joining us on Andy
and Marty,
the podcast.
See you next time.
Oh, God.
Jump scare.
See you next time.
We were talking about some spooky topics.
Social media, Instagram.
Social media.
Coming out in 2010. Being a Scorpio.
Instagram. Okay. Remember, kids. Instagram is a Scorpio.
Instagram is a Scorpio. Bye.
Bye.